I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we tour our facilities, how you actually take a resident, a family, and how you walk them through. As well as I'm going to sit down and show you how you are going to want to convert the tour. So in terms of from beginning to end, what was the main point of contact, the initiation? Did they come through a placement agency? Did they find you through a search engine on Google? Were they a case manager referral? All right. So in terms of everything from beginning to end, for those who are not familiar with touring, not comfortable with touring, or have not seen how to conduct a tour or how to convert a tour, that is one thing that we are going to do. Now, and we have a lot of our previous trainings as well, in terms of we've done the deep dive. We did one that was in Chicago, Illinois, and that's a recording that we did actually there in the facility. And so we toured a family and just recorded the entire process from beginning to end when we were in Chicago at one of the facilities there. And so we have a lot of those videos and information and things like that. But what I'm going to do is kind of a smaller snippet scenario for what we did when we were in Chicago. Okay, for those that are here, you let us know at any time if you have questions. And as we're going through, I mean, I think Chris probably, as he sees them come through and pop up, then he can respond. If not, by the time we're done, then we'll be able to respond. Okay. All right. So we are going to start with the tour. So I'm going to be touring today, Mr. Tri-Seri, right? All right. So Mr. Tri-Seri is he's Mr. Tri-Seri, right? So Mr. Tri-Seri has his dad, and he wants to come check out this community. He wants to check out our community, and I'm going to show him the tour. One thing that I want to tell you, and so that you can pick up on, right? When somebody comes into the community, there's kind of 3 steps that you want to do. So first, if you have not already had that information, you want them to fill out some preliminary information, right? We want to know exactly what their needs are. How soon are they looking to move their level one in? We want to know about their budget. We want to know, are they using home health? Do they need skilled care, wound care? What are their needs, right? So once you find out information about what their needs are, that is how you want to drive your tour. You want to drive your tour based on the needs. So I guess before we start the tour, what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to have Mr. Tri-Seri come in and sit down so I can find out what his needs are, what he's looking for, and then I'm going to conduct the tour. After we have done that piece, there is the closeout piece where you want to attempt to convert them, right? I'm going to show you where when you are converting someone, the plan is and the hopes are that the person is actually securing and signing your contract before they leave. So we are going to start that process. Does anybody have questions? All right, so we're going to start that. All right, Mr. Tri-Seri, you want to bring up your chair?
Sure.
All right. So, thank you so much for coming to visit our facility, our AOW respite care.
Well, thank you.
Respite care. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, tell me a little bit about your situation. I believe it's your father.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about Dad and how we can assist you.
So my father is quite the stubborn man at times. He does like to be around people, but he's very selective
Okay.
as to who he wants to be around. He does like people, but at times he likes to have his peace and quiet.
Okay.
He is somewhat picky with his food. So he has some sort of, I guess you could say, restrictions as to what he would eat. He wants a place where he could be fairly active and do all sorts of activities, but at the same time, he wants to have his own quiet little place, in the facility and just kind of do his own thing. So just something with flexibility that will allow him to do both.
Okay.
When he wants.
Okay. So in terms of Dad, he likes to be fairly active. So what type of things does he like to do to stay active?
He likes to go on walks.
Okay.
He likes to do a lot of walking.
Okay. So tell me about his career in the past. What has he done in the past?
In the past, he was a math teacher.
Okay. All right. And so in terms of the food, I know he's a bit picky. So in terms of restrictions or special diets or things that he just likes, preferences. So tell me the things that he may like and what he doesn't like.
Well, he is not a fan of vegetables.
Okay.
With very few that he would not mind, like onions and tomatoes, he's all right with, but a lot of the other ones, not so much.
Okay.
He is somewhat lactose intolerant,
Okay.
so that's something that needs to be, you know, kept in mind of,
Okay.
because that could affect him. And he also sometimes enjoys sweets.
Mhm.
There's times where he may indulge a little too much in sweets, and
Okay.
that might mess up his stomach up a little bit. So, but definitely his sweets.
Okay.
And then of course it all kind of depends on his mood,
Okay.
you know.
All right. So tell me a little bit about his previous housing situation. Did he live with a roommate? Did he live with a spouse? Did he live alone?
He's lived alone, but he struggled
Okay.
since he was by himself. So I would have to go and help him every once in a while, but he lived a little bit far.
Mhm.
So it was a little bit of an inconvenience sometimes when something were to happen, or if he needed something, I would have to drive, quite a bit of ways to go and take care of him.
Okay. Understood. Understood. All right. Well, so I'd like to feel that you have come to the right place. I am sure that everything that you are needing support of and everything that dad is in need of support of, I'm sure that that's something in a service that we offer.
Mhm.
One thing that our community is very big on is ensuring that we are providing individualized services. And so when we start the process and hopefully once that move in, if we can get that to work out for you, then what we'd love to do is, we're gonna develop a very in-depth detailed plan to ensure that we capture all of these pieces, right? So I want to make sure that we capture, what dad likes, what he doesn't like, to ensure that we don't, agitate him or anything. Make sure that we ensure that he gets out on his walks and things like that. We have plenty of community activities,
Good.
on site as well as off site. And however, we'll also be able to show you, our private rooms. We do have shared rooms as well, but sounds like that may be a better fit
Yeah.
for a private room. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start the tour process and take you through. And when I go through, you just let me know if you have any questions or
Sure.
anything, and I'll be able to address those for you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's really
Okay. So the first area that I'm going to take you to is here in our community. We have all of our residents. We offer 3 meals a day, 3 hot meals a day, and so we have our menu. And one thing about our menu, when we develop it, we ensure that we include all of our residents, but also in an individualized service plan. That's going to let our staff who are going to be providing and serving the food to know exactly what dad likes and what he doesn't like, right? So does dad use any special like equipment? He's got favorite coffee mugs or anything like that?
He does have his own favorite mug
Okay.
that he likes to have. He likes to have coffee every morning
Okay.
throughout the day.
Okay. So one thing is we do have a coffee station. We keep that coffee station open, 24 hours a day, because we do have some people, maybe late night things they want to access coffee. And so we'll make sure that we always have that available. Also he'll have a pendant system. So he'll have like either a lanyard or a bracelet. So he'll be able to push the button if he ever needs any help. We can always be able
Sounds
to.
good.
All right. So we have the 3 meals a day. We offer snacks, and I know dad is big on, sweets and desserts. We have, plenty of sweets and desserts. We definitely offer sweets and desserts after lunch as well as dinner. However, we also have our snack station, which is open and available. So we can always provide him with additional things he may like. Also in his room, he can definitely have his own small refrigerator, and that way you can possibly come in every now and then and stock the fridge. If it's an inconvenience for you, then we can always get, one of our delivery services or anything to be able to bring that in for that.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll walk a little further and then I'll show you the activity area. We're Mexican. So I'm gonna show you here our activity there, right? So we have multiple different games, right? So we want to make sure that we are focusing on the various different aspects of those who are aging. So we're going to be focusing on, physical activity, such as whatever he may be able to tolerate. So such as chair exercises, chair Zumba yoga, um, chair volleyball, things like that. Definitely going out for walks, doing sightseeing and things like that. We also have a men's group. The men's group, the first of the month, like the first Sunday of every month, they always go to Golden Corral, right? So we make sure that we always take them to Golden Corral. And to make it easier for you, we can actually build that, to dad's bill, whatever makes it work. We also have a golfing club. We have men's puzzle activities. And then we have groups and activities just for everyone. And so that allows them to, be able to pick and choose. But also if dad wants to do anything, one-on-one by himself, we have an activity station. And in the activity station, you can go, we have cards, we have board games and puzzles and things like that. And then also we have people, so if dad has a computer or a tablet, we have individuals who are equipped that can come and assist him with accessing or downloading games or things like that. Let's see. Also, the one thing that we do have, as well as we have resident council, right? So our resident council allows all of our residents to be able to talk about their community amongst themselves without staff. And so we want to make sure that they have the opportunity to be able to present to us, changes that they want to make, because this is their home. So we want to make sure that they're comfortable, that we give them everything that they need, and that they can feel as comfortable and relaxed as possible.
That's good.
What questions do you have at this point?
What time is breakfast usually served? Because he's an early riser. So he likes to
Yeah, so our breakfast times, what you have posted is usually from 8:30 in the morning. It starts at 8:30, so usually 8:30, between 8:30 and 9:30.
Okay.
However, we do have some people who may not want to actually come down for breakfast. So we have more like a continental style, like some box cereals, individual box cereals, some wrapped individual muffins and things like that, that he'll be able to access. But also, just keeping in mind, he can always push his button and we can always assist him with whatever he needs. If he just so happens he's late and he wants us to make him 2 scrambled eggs, then we'll make sure that we can do that as well.
Okay, great.
So I'm gonna show you our type of studios that we have. All right, so I'm gonna show you our studios that we have. So here in our studios, we have, we have shared rooms, we have individual rooms. And so our rooms are definitely, we're flexible on the rates in terms and things like that. And so, we're trying to make it work for, whatever's in dad's budget if we can. And I'll also be able to provide some information and resources that he may be able to qualify for. So, but our rooms, each one has a call bell station. So in an event that, he doesn't have a pendant or push button, he can push that button and be able to have some assistance.
Okay.
So dad, by all means, we want him to be comfortable. So it's really best if you are able to bring his items in. Another thing, by all means, we know that it's overwhelming process, transition and everything like that can be overwhelming and a lot. So we do have a service that will actually move the items for you.
Okay.
So we have a company that will come and pick up dad's things and load it onto the truck, bring it here and set everything up.
Okay, that's great.
And then our caregivers, they're gonna make sure that he's comfortable. We'll put up pictures, things like that. If you would like, you could have a camera in there for that if you want, where you can communicate and monitor if dad's okay with that, and if you're okay with that, then we could do that. The rooms that have their own bathroom. We do have some individual rooms that have a common bathroom that they share, and then we do have some shared bathrooms.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next, I'm gonna kind of just take you on our outside area. So our outside area, that's what we have. It's fenced in. And so, but residents are able to come and go, in the event if they're capable of, So, in terms of he wants to walk, we have a a great location. We are, have a walking path and trail, things like that. If we're gonna do the assessment, and so if he's able to actually, go on that walk and things by himself, sign himself out and sign himself in, so we
Okay.
know that where he is and that he's safe, and
Mhm.
ensuring that, he's had his medications and
Right.
meals in time,
Mhm.
then, by all means, he's free to come and go. Um, any other questions on the tour before I come back and we have a seat and I'll be able to kind of see if
Mhm.
there's anything else that we can provide you?
Now, how does the management of medications work with his meds?
So the medication. So in terms of medication, how has he been doing it? Has he been self-administering or has somebody been doing it for
Both.
him? Okay,
A little both.
okay. So what the process for us is, one, we're gonna have, we'll need a
Mhm.
history and physical from the doctor. So
Mhm.
first, the doctor is gonna be able to, one, tell us in terms of if he's able to self-administer his medication safely, um, or if not. So
Mhm.
based on what the doctor says, that's the first gonna follow. If the doctor says that he can't, then, we'll have our staff. Our staff will administer according to the physician's order.
Mhm.
There are some residents where the physician will say, in terms of they may have one or two medications themselves,
Mhm. Right.
or and that they can keep. But we
Mhm.
have to make sure, and we'll have to provide assessments to ensure that he is, one, able to ensure that those medications are locked, to
Mhm.
ensure that he is consistently um, doing those medications according to the physician's order.
Mhm.
So that's something that we're actually going to assess him with every month. And
Mhm.
during that process, we'll just give them more education, reminders, keeping it locked.
Mhm.
Um, if we do have any issues with that, where it could potentially cause harm to any other individual because it's not
Mhm.
secured, then at that point we won't be allowed, won't be able
Right.
to allow him to
Okay.
administer. Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll come back down, sit down, and we'll talk and go over some paperwork. Okay. All right. So I know, so you've seen the facility,
Mhm.
and I know I hope that I've answered all your questions.
Mhm.
Um, so tell me, what are you thinking at this point?
I think it's great. It seems like it's a really perfect fit,
Okay.
and I think my dad will like it.
Yeah. So tell me, in terms of budget, what do you think is a comfortable budget that, possibly that dad could afford?
Oh, what's the average?
Well,
Because I'm not
so
too familiar with the pricing.
understood.
Oh.
So our single rooms, they run about somewhere, I mean, we try to get it as close to about $6,000 a month
Mhm.
for our single. Sometimes our double occupancy, we can do 4,500.
Mhm.
Um, and so in terms of we try to make it work, and sometimes I can see what benefits may be beneficial, such as if he was a veteran, I can probably get
Mhm.
him connected to get some veteran benefits.
He is a veteran.
Excellent, excellent.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
definitely I'll be able to connect you with one of our partners that at the
Mhm.
DAV as well, that's actually starts the process. They support
Mhm.
our elderly veterans to get the process completed. Um, and then the other things that have worked out is in terms of when we know for sure that he'll be able to get a benefit in retro pay, then we'll be able to bring him in at a reduced rate
Okay.
temporarily, and then
Mhm.
when that reduced rate bulk comes in, then we'll be able to recoup that.
Mhm.
Um, other options we have in terms of, we'll talk about, if there's any needs for support for liquidating assets. So in
Mhm.
terms of, does he have a home that's paid off?
Yeah.
Can we assist you with, possibly liquidating and selling that asset where, they'll be able to have funds longer for that?
Mhm.
Um, any other assets or things like that that we'll be able to assist. We also work with the long-term care insurance. And so that will be able to provide additional
Mhm.
services as well.
Okay.
Um, so in terms of 6,500 for a single room, um, let me know in terms of how you feel about paying the 6,500. There are some things that we can do in terms of we have a community fee, right? And our community fee is $2,500. And what that covers is the cost to prepare that room.
Mhm.
It's also gonna be the cost of providing some of those activities. It's gonna be the cost of maintaining our amenities.
Mhm.
And so what we can do is sometime I can be flexible in terms of maybe I can waive the community fee. Or maybe I can break that community fee up
Mhm.
into multiple 3 payments. Um, I want to see how I can make that work for you. How can we get dad
Mhm.
to be a resident and to move in? If we could get dad in here tomorrow,
Mhm.
what does it take for us to get that for there, or to get him in here tomorrow?
Um, we're ready, you know, for him to move in tomorrow as well, and he's also ready.
Mhm.
But I think as far as budget, 65 is, we could work with 65.
Okay, okay.
Oh.
So in terms of the community fee, so the community fee, so there's a 6,500 paid up front as well as a
Mhm.
2,500 paid up front. Is it easier that we split that community fee over 3 months?
Yes, that would be a help.
Okay,
Mhm.
and so we can definitely do that. I'm gonna go and get a contract, and if you're able to pay, the community fee or a deposit or anything to hold this room right now, and
Mhm.
then we'll ensure that we get everything set up. Um, we get all of the paperwork and everything needed in the
Mhm.
rush, and you know, we can give you the information for our moving crew, and we can
Sure.
really get that in here tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
All right. So thanks so much. So
Thank
we'll
you.
go get the paperwork and get started.
Great. Thank you.